quickly just want to go over the introduction to magnets and magnetic fields. So with magnets, you might be given a bar magnet, and let's say there's north and south here, okay? Now a magnetic field will be surrounding that. I think we've all played with magnets at one point in our life, hopefully. And you know that if you put, say, a north end and a south end near each other, they're actually going to attract. You'll feel a magnetic force. That's what that's called, a magnetic force that's attracting those two things. Now, if you put a north and let's say a north beside each other, you're going to feel them repel. They won't want to go near each other. And that's the magnetic force acting on that. So that's a simple rule there. Likes repel, unlikes attract. Okay. Now, and that's because their magnetic fields are interacting with each other. Okay. Now, how do we draw a magnetic field? So the magnetic fields for a bar magnet is like this. Okay. So if we draw a magnetic field around this thing, there we go. It surrounds a magnetic field. Now, what actually happens is we have the magnetic field lines pointing away from north and they go towards the south end. Okay, and you might ask yourself, how do I remember that? How am I going to remember that? Well, a way to remember it is N you can think of for no thanks. Okay, so the reason I say that is no, if you think about it, the arrows are kind of running away from the north end. So think no thanks. Whereas on the south end, think say yes. Okay, so if you have a south pole, your magnetic field lines will go towards the south. So say yes. So that being said, if we have a, say, north and a north here, these two magnetic field lines are kind of going to push off of each other. Okay, and that's why you feel a magnetic force that repels. Okay, so you see a magnetic force acting away, so they're repelling. Okay, it's a repelling force. And that's because your magnetic field lines kind of repel each other. Whereas if you have it the opposite way, let's say you have a north pole and a south pole here, well, when you draw your magnetic field lines, your north end is going to say no thanks, but your south end is going to say yes. Okay, so this is roughly how you're going to draw your magnetic field lines at this point. Okay, and then as they go further away, they're not going to quite interact, so it'll look something more like this. And then you'll have your magnetic field lines coming in from over here directed towards your south. If you wanted to actually draw the entire bar magnet, let's say of this guy, it would look maybe roughly like this. And they would go no thanks again over here, and these would probably connect, and it would look something like that. Okay, so that was a really quick introduction on magnets and magnetic fields. So remember, north poles say no thanks to magnetic field lines, and south poles say yes to magnetic field lines.